full power supply. Then it took a long time to get everything set. This came, I had to come by ship. By ship, 6 generators. So this is the Japanese well. The only well which gave fresh water on the island was from this well. These were here pre-independence. They used to fire a cannon into the ground, and they kept firing at about 35 feet or so. The water used to start filling up.
Okay.
So natural capillary action, जो sea water है, वो coral के बीच में से जाके, it loses the salt and fresh water is available to drink, and it is more clearer and more healthier than what you get bottled water outside.
Okay.
Beautiful well it was, and it never goes dry. It just keeps producing water only. You can keep taking out, it will never go down.
So this is the only source of water, sir?
Only source of water on the whole island.
Okay.
So when we didn't have water, then we had to get from... In fact, there's a story about, we had asked for water to come, and one day we had 40 tons of water landing in Isle 76. Yeah. And when I picked up the bottle, one of the bottles fell out from those cardboard cases. When I looked at it, it was written Bhuj earthquake.
Okay.
It was very old water which was stored somewhere in some hangar. Somebody wanted to get rid of it. वो हमको भेज दिया.
Okay.
It was all life expired water, so it was of no use. Learning as far as management goes, leadership goes, people have to be sensitive to the requirements.
Yeah.
When it comes from such a place. So you can see the broken well here. It's all broken. Then we cleared it. We made it fresh. See, they're absolutely blue and clear. So I'm coming towards the end of my presentation. This is basically what I'm saying is that planning, coordination, execution of missions, that is what we learned in the tsunami. Logistics management, biggest issue was logistics management, which again was a big learning for all of us. Human issues, like I told you, maintaining of morale of the men. In fact, we used to give them this tablet for malaria, stopping malaria. So somebody spread the news that if you have this tablet, you'll become important. People used to take that tablet and throw it away.
Oh my God, okay.
And we used to have tablet parade. वो parade में खड़ा करके सबको पानी force them to eat it because
getting over the issue.
मलेरिया से मर गया आदमी तो problem हो जाएगा. Of course, we used to every Sunday go clean the beach, go and play volleyball on the beach. So सबको खुश रखना was one biggest issues that I learnt about during the tsunami. Moral, motivation, hygiene.
Yeah, keep them in the good spirits all the time.
Yeah. So I realized that when 70 people were sent from various units, everybody sent the people that they didn't want.
Oh, acha, getting rid of.
Even the cook, even the waiter, everybody who came there, he said, "Sir, मेरे को तो ऐसे भेज दिया, मेरे को तो नहीं आ रहा ना, मेरे को वापस." उन्होंने बोला वहाँ जाके छुट्टी apply करो. So then people have to understand. People didn't know tsunami क्या हुआ है. जाना emergency requirement आ गया, भेज दिया. And of course, when everybody understood that the best guys are required here, then they sent us good people.
Acha, subsequently replaced.
Every 3 months, people are replaced.
Okay, sir.
I continued for 1 year.
Great. Okay.
So this is what my takeaways are. So some good photographs I've got to show you about what all our achievements were. We had promised the Chief of Air Staff that we will have fighter operations taking place on the 100th day of the tsunami. So 26 December was the tsunami, and exactly 100 days later, we had the fighters operating at Car Nicobar, proving that the Air Force can never go down. It will always come up, always strong. Resilience of the Air Force was proven.
So it's really wonderful, sir, to issue such a critical mission within that timelines. So salute to you and your leadership qualities.
And then, of course, the President Abdul Kalam had come there, so some monetary enhancement of special duty allowance, 50% of basic pay kar diya unhone. Within 7 days of his going back from there to Delhi, he increased the basic thing by 50%. And then these are the structures we got from India. I call it India because we were outside. We got them by Isle 76, and we made these little homes for our airmen to live.
Prefabricated, sir?
Prefabs, all prefabs. All yes, was prefabs only.
Yes, sir.
So this is the end. The day I left, Car Nicobar looked like this.
Oh, wonderful. Total transformation. From nothing to everything.
Yeah.
Great, sir.
Yeah, so I'll end with this little quote. In fact, there's one little story I must tell you here. There was this little boy who was swept up by the water, and he was hanging by the tree, a coconut tree. He was right on top. So he was stuck on the coconut tree, and for 5 days, 4 or 5 days, he was on top of the coconut tree.
My God.
How did he survive? He survived because he found a bottle of Sprite. So Sprite can do an advertisement actually.
Okay.
He found a bottle of Sprite on the top.
He lived on this Sprite for 5 days.
Yeah. Uske baad he couldn't sustain it, so he just held up the tree and he came down. He was all injured in the front like this. And then, of course, we got him out of there to Chennai.
How was he rescued, sir, with the help of helicopter?
No, he came down on his own.
Okay. When the
Otherwise,
water
there were-
receded.
Yeah. Water to पहले ही चला गया था, but he was afraid to come. He was terrified. He was about 8 years old.
Oh.
8 years old. And then of course there was a rescue of one pregnant lady from the top floor using साड़ी को बांध के, जैसे पिक्चर में दिखाते हैं ना, रेस्क्यू किया है. बहुत सारा रेस्क्यू स्टोरीज तो बहुत सारा है. There was Meghna Rajshekhar, Wing Commander Rajshekhar's daughter, was called Rajshekhar's daughter, was the Met officer. She had a story to tell. Her movie is being made on her story about survival. She had gone into the sea on a MES का दरवाजा के ऊपर वो float कर रही थी के ऊपर, and then she had some wild animals also it was like Noah's Ark. She was 3 days later she was pushed back onto the island, and then of course she was rescued by the tribals and got back to the base.
Oh, so fortunate she is.
She's an architect. She's in Hyderabad. I am in touch with her.
Okay.
Architect. She stays in Hyderabad. But her parents and brother, everybody died. She's alone.
My God. Okay.
Yeah. Very, very nice girl. She's there in Hyderabad.
How many were the casualties, sir, from our Air Force side?
Air Force side, there were 126 casualties.
Out of
700 plus people there.
Okay.
This includes airmen as well as children.
All human, the family members.
Yes.
Yeah. So, firstly, hats up to you,
I have finished with my presentation. So,
Yes.
questions, more than happy to answer.
So, thank you very much, sir, for your excellent display of courage, compassion, or the hope for the other human beings who are working with you, and motivating them and encouraging them towards achieving a goal. So despite the all other difficulties of the people or mindsets of the people. So firstly, I would like to salute you for your leadership skills in those dire circumstances, critical circumstances. And you volunteered to go there. There was no duty-bound kind of thing. So in fact, really happy to know, and inspiring is your story, the way you handle so many difficult and life-challenging situations. So, and the way you led the people and you motivated them and saw through the task that is assigned and achieving the task within the timelines, within 100 days. So really great things, sir. Great things. And it speaks for the volume for your kind of leadership.
That's
determination, great courage, and display of valor also. It's not like, so I think, we have so many other 71 war heroes on our call, like Wing Commander Karnik sir, Group Captain Das sir, and Wing Commander Krishnamurthy sir, and all others also there. So I'd like to request our Wing Commander Karnik sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Excellent presentation, so very vividly described by Nitin, and I'm thankful that he had come on this screen and enumerated what all happened there. Otherwise, we are actually totally. I had read this book also. It's a synopsis of the book also, and but exhibiting it pictorially makes a difference. Visual impact makes a big difference, and all. And I appreciate Nitin's guts to volunteer to stay for 1 year when everyone used to go back after 3 months or so. I mean, full marks to him. Thank you very much, Nitin.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words.
Thank you so much, sir. Wing Commander Karnik sir. Then we have another Veer Chakra holder, Group Captain Das sir.
Okay, I'm coming on.
Yeah, Das sir, welcome. Yes, sir.
Okay, I have only one word to say. Hats off to Sathe.
No, the 70 men, sir, not me.
Yeah, teamwork. And of course, he is the team leader. Leadership makes all the difference.
Yes, hats off to him. And the way he did it, starting from scratch and setting a timeline of 100 days is very much appreciable. And the whole thing depends upon the motivation. And that is what he did.
Yes, sir.
And that is what achieved the results. So again, 3 cheers to him.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Group Captain Das, sir, for your kind words. And we have another, our air warrior, Sharat Chandra Vaidya, sir, if you'd like to interact.
TVR, sir, Sharat Chand Bandya, sir, is a very senior veteran of Indore chapter, 1956 enrolled.
My God. Okay.
Yes,
If he is not able to speak, then Wing Commander Jabla Patak, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Sir, thank you so much for excellent Zoom meeting we had today. It's a great thing, and you have given such a wonderful information. And like Das sir said, hats off to your leadership, sir. It was possible only because of your motivation and you guided men under you. Excellent thing done. I know one of the victims of this, I think Wing Commander Nijjar, you might be knowing, sir.
Yeah, he was my adjutant in Bombay also in my unit.
He lost his son and daughter there.
Yeah, he's lost son and daughter. His parents are in Patna and he is at the moment in Delhi.
Yeah. He told me he knows you. He was busy, that's why I did not attend the meeting today. Otherwise,
We should not call people who have lost near ones in such meetings because it takes them back into grief.
Yeah, they become emotional in that.
I'm not. He is also read it there, and then he told me that he was with you. He was your.
I've given a story in my book also.
Okay, thank you again, sir, and we look forward for more Zoom meetings of interesting Zoom meetings from you.
With different experiences.
Thank you so much.
As per your timing, sir, as per your availability. But it will be our pleasure, sir. It will be our pleasure.
May I come in, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Sharma, sir.
Sir, I am want to be a Sharma.
Yes, sir.
I was privileged to fly with you. You must be knowing.
Now I can see you properly.
I just interrupted because I am just going to my daughter's place. She has got some birthday party.
Okay. Enjoy, sir. Enjoy. No issue.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah. Now Vinkam Krishnamurthy sir has come. Yes, sir. For you.
Bhargava sir is also there, I think.
Yeah. Bhargava has also just joined. So meanwhile, Vinkam Krishnamurthy can speak, sir.
Fresh good evening to everyone. Thanks, Nitin. Thanks, Bhogeshwar. Thanks for Sharad Pathak for this assembly. I spent nearly a year in Karnik when the helicopter 122 flight moved there from Kalekunda. And soon after getting selected for Antarctica, I moved on to the mainland. I got posted out. As I understand, our Air Force used to be from southeast side. Am I right, Nitin?
It is southeast, sir.
Very correct. Which side was the maximum damage? I mean, in the entire island?
Sir, waves came from all sides, I'm told, but 7 waves hit us. We lost the maximum in terms of density.
Naturally, because there was a construction there. There was a density, this thing. Because north is facing the 10-degree channel and there was not much of...
yes, sir. We were facing the main waves, sir. Facing the main waves. Yeah.
We had in this colony in Bombay, we had a gentleman, I don't want to name him, who lost his child, rather children. Okay. And I heard certain things from him, very, very heart-wrenching, no doubt about it. But again, nature we cannot play against, nature we cannot blame because we don't call for it, but it comes. But at the same time, when we were in school, we studied that Japan, which is known for the earthquakes, had the houses made of cardboard and lakdi, wood, not the high-rise buildings. Okay, so when we can think this way, even it can happen once in some 50 years, what kind of lessons we learned on that can anyone kind of put it across from this tsunami? Yeah, Nitin.
Sir, actually, go by folklore. There is this little red fish that is caught in the net.
Yes.
Before an earthquake comes. So whenever there's a severe earthquake that is about to come, the fishermen had caught this fish 4-5 days before the earthquake came. Minor shocks that were already, it was already in the offing. So they had already warned the district administration that there's going to be a massive earthquake coming because in their historical brief that they had got down generations, 99 years ago, there was a similar tsunami that happened on the island, which people.
It is there in the record. Yes.
Yeah, it is there in the record. So they had warned the local district administration, but they said, okay, जब आएगा तब देखेंगे. आपको help चाहिए हम देंगे. अभी आप आराम करो, कोई problem नहीं. So the locals were kind of aware, and all the locals, everybody lived on the shore. There was nobody living in the middle of the island except the British had made their headquarters in the middle of the island on a higher ground because they had the power to think that, to safety is first, not go to the seashore and, make something. The command and control structure was made well inside the island. Whereas all of us, the station commander included, had a house right next to the sea, could walk to the seashore in a few seconds from his house. So the coastal regulatory policy was not followed. The the way the structures were built were not followed. You're absolutely right. After that, of course, we have moved very well inside now. 160 acres of land was lost to the tsunami in any case. Now we are completely inside. All the new structures have come up inside about a kilometer, 500 meters plus from the seashore. So that is what was the...
I have one more question before I move away. The nearby islands, how much was the damage? Any kind of...
So in the southern group, we had 40,000 people total,
okay,
of which there was a reported deaths of 4,500, but the unofficial figure is at about 7,500.
Okay.
Out of the 40,000 people.
My God.
Yes.
Thank you, Nitin.
Because there were some islands which were completely cut, like Kamorta and Kachel Islands, they were completely cut into half by the sea. So there was a lot of damage there, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Venkamat
Thank you,
Krishnamurthy,
Nitin.
sir. And we have another, our 71 war hero, ex-POW, Air Commodore Bhargava, sir. Welcome to the webinar, sir.
In fact, I've written a story on Wing Commander Bhargava's escape story from Pakistan.
Yeah.
The third part of it has come up on Rediff just a couple of days ago. The fourth part, sir, will come in a couple of days.
Great. So, okay,
Yes,
sir.
Nitin
Yeah, you
has done
can
a good
speak.
job. Nitin has done a good job. Air Commodore Nitin Sathe is very nice. Very good writer, I must say.
Yes,
I
sir,
can
we
hear
can
you,
hear
sir.
you. We can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, I missed Nitin dear. I missed whatever you have said in the earlier time. Maybe about 5:30 you started on time.
Yes, sir. Start on time.
I got stuck somewhere. I just quickly made it. Thank God, at least little bit I could hear.
I'll send you the information to have a look, sir.
Air Commodore Sathe was there only.
Sir, he is in Chandigarh only, very close to you.
No. I'm talking about he was in.
No, sir. I went to the islands on the 1st of January, 31st of December rather. And 1st January we were operational at Car Nicobar. 26 December ko hua tha, tsunami, sir.
Oh, yeah.
20 and went there. I was station commander Patiala, sir, when it happened.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Sadbir would like to speak.
Sir, just thank you very much, sir, for very captivating, I won't call it story, but it's a kind of the past which haunts many people, many Indians, many the world over. And the kind of lessons you have brought on disaster management, I think no books teaches us.
Yeah.
We have read some chapters or course, we have MSc in disaster management or some courses, one or the university, but no one teaches like the practical experience teaches.
Absolutely.
And I think you have done your best, not only to the Air Force, but to the humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
We'll
sir.
learn a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Sadbir. We have another, Sathe sir would like to speak. HFO.
Last part only I heard, sir. So I am joining a little late because
Okay,
I went out, sir. Thank you
Okay,
very much, sir.
right, sir,
It
right,
was
sir.
a nice narration and I enjoyed it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, Naidu Garu from Tirupati.
Good evening to everybody.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening.
Hats off to you, sir, Nitin, sir. It's a you're very courageous, you're good planner and executor. You have really done a wonderful work all alone by yourself and your team. The devastation was very, very vast. I think in somewhere in 2009 or 10, we have visited that islands just as a tourist, and we could see the devastation standing even after so many years. That shows how much it was swept away. And hats off to you for bringing back our Air Force Station and other nearby places with your meticulous planning and great execution. Hats off to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Naidu, sir. It's actually fun. I always say that it was a complete team effort.
Yeah, but the leadership always counts, sir.
Yeah, but Nurul sir.
Good evening, Air Commodore, sir. This is a great informative presentation about the tsunami. I just want to know what are the precautionary measures what we have taken from the Air Force to avoid such recurrence of nature in that island.
No. We have firstly the Japanese. What we have installed is a tsunami warning system. Whenever there is a earthquake also of a larger magnitude, automatic tsunami warning comes on your mobile phone. Mobile pe warning aa jata hai. And there are certain SOPs that have been made that moment tsunami comes, earthquake comes from more than 5.5 on the Richter scale, everybody is supposed to move towards the center of the island and wait and not go and see. You know what happened on that day when the tsunami came was, when the water receded initially, the brilliant coral was visible. Nobody thought that the tsunami water will come. So a lot of people, families, children, they all went with cameras to take photographs of the coral. You never see the coral outside the water till then. So large 25 people of our people died just like that, trying to be, they didn't know what was happening. They knew what the tsunami was, of course. So we are now educated enough. Secondly, we have got adequate amount of, storage in terms of heavy equipment, in terms of all the things that are required to help us rescue people. That is all available now and stored properly over there. Emergency rations are available. Everything is quite well done. I had gone there 9 years after the tsunami to talk to the men there. And by the way, everybody had forgotten that there was a tsunami also. Nobody knew. So that is the problem with us Indians, that we don't learn from our old mistakes. We are waiting for another tsunami to happen. That is one practical problem, that everybody changes in 2 years, 3 years. The completely new station No history has been left behind for people to learn from and follow some. But there are rules and regulations that have been made, of course, tsunami rules.
Yeah, Nicobar Islands is made of a lot of miniature islands. So is there any effect that due to tsunami, so many islands have been washed away and no habitants further?
No. Some of the islands have been broken into two parts. Kachal, Kamorta, which I think the south island was there. It was completely cut into two parts by the sea had come in between. So otherwise, there was no island which went down to the ocean. It was all damaged. Yes, they were damaged quite. The ecosystem was damaged.
So how far our airfield is safe, sir, up to which scale it can stand?
Up to 5.5, 6.5 tak to koi problem nahi hai. Runway can stand. This was 9. 9 is like, that
too much.
Sitting on the bed, if you're in the center of the room, you are going and hitting against the wall and getting injured. Itna jor se hit karta. Itna jor se. That is the kind of force that is exerted on somebody.
So, sir, you landed on 26th of December, on the day of tsunami?
Yeah, 26th December.
So, was there any anticipation that there is likely to be further recurrence of such tsunami within 2 days?
There were 200 plus aftershocks.
Yeah.
We kept getting aftershocks after that. But tsunami like koi hua nahi, because tsunami requires at least 7. That's what people say.
So were you prepared to face such in case if it comes like that?
Now we have got the SOPs in place. I don't think we'll have so many.
Thank you very much for your reply.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, one question from my side. Normally, our airforce takes good care of everything beforehand by way of abundant caution and care and all those things. Were there any warnings before the advent of tsunami, sir?
No. There was no warning to tsunami for us. It was sudden. In fact, when I heard it for the first time on 26th evening, when my daughter came to me, and in fact in the book also I mentioned this.
Sir,
I didn't even know what a tsunami is. Some faint idea that Japan mein hota hai, and how much damage it can cause, I could only know after a couple of days when I realized that so much of damage has taken place. Otherwise, sitting in Patiala, I didn't know what a tsunami was, to tell you very clearly. And I don't think many of the commanders also really could visualize kya hua, because there was complete, all communication was cut off completely. There was no communication, like I told you, with the island. So to assess how much is the damage, how many lives are lost, nobody knew. But today, if a tsunami hits somewhere, we know that something big has happened. Okay. Now, tsunami word is also used, tsunami of questions, tsunami of... Tsunami is used in normal language that we use on an everyday, talking.
उसमें लोगों को tsunami की spelling नहीं मालूम थी.
That was a new word for all of us, in fact. So, sir, there was a large-scale death and destruction. Was it because of the earthquake or because of the impact of the waves?
Impact of the waves, sir. No, almost nobody died because of the earthquake.
Oh, such is the
water
impact. Water.
The water travels at 700 kilometers per hour under the ocean floor. That's the frequency is very high frequency waves.
Sir.
It hits the continental shelf. The speed reduces to 70 kilometers per hour, but the amplitude of the wave is 70 feet high waves traveling at 70 kilometers an hour and 1.5 kilometer wide.
My God.
The wall of water approaching you, and whatever comes in its way, वो तोड़ देता है सब कुछ. उसके अंदर आदमी मरते हैं. They die of drowning and asphyxiation.
Okay. Yeah. Any question from anybody else, sir?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yeah, Ramesh ji. Boli.
Good evening, Sathe sir. Sir, really a great story to listen and really happenings. And you taking the job from such the people who are sent by post to the car Nicobar, जाओ तुमको posting भेजते थे, for instance posting. और उनके साथ में आपने कार्य किया, कार्य करने के बाद में instead of 3 months you stayed another 9 months more. It is really highly appreciable, sir, and really salute to you. But I want to add your books in my library. How can I do it, sir?
मतलब क्या मेरे को बता दीजिए, आपने अभी मेरे को बोल दिया तो भेज देंगे आपको, क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
अमेज़न में सर,
अमेज़न में भी है, अमेज़न में है ना
जी.
Book name by a few good men. Yeah.
Any airman or anybody who is air warrior wants a book from me is most welcome to get a signed copy from me. There's no problem. I'll send it to you by post.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
My number, mobile number, and my email is here. I'm just writing it for everybody so that you can give me a mail and I'll send it to you signed. It will be a pleasure. to you.
So kind of you,
So
sir.
kind of you,
Please.
sir. So kind of.
So I was telling you about the story. I also was in the formation of 799 SU Karshang, where there was no electricity, nothing was there. Tigers used to roam over there, sir. So that unit I have seen. That there was a person, cook was there, and you manage the things in a very systematic and very motivational way. हमारा जो chief cook था, head cook था, उसने उसको बोला नया cook आया. अच्छा मिस्टर सोनसो मैं नाम नहीं लूंगा उसका. अच्छा दाल रख दो उसमें, चने अरहर की दाल रख दो पकाने के लिए. तो उसने रख दिया सर, और करीब 15-20 मिनट के बाद में सिर्फ धुआं निकलने लगा कुकर से. तो धुआं निकलने लगा, उसने देखा क्या हो गया. सडनली ही वेंट दैट साइड, हेड कुक वेंट देयर. उसको उठा के देखा, उसमें खाली सूखी दाल रखी हुई थी. देन ही आस्क्ड इमीडिएटली कि क्या आपने ऐसी सूखी दाल रख दी. बोले सर आपने ही तो बोला है खाली दाल रखने के लिए, आपने पानी डालने के लिए तो नहीं बोला है. तो ऐसे लोगों के साथ में आपने काम किया है. Really, sir, I salute you, and it's a great.
But you know, every time you reminded me of the food. So we had, I think, Onam. Moment we reached there, I think Onam was there in January. Onam was there.
Festival, yeah.
So the army guys had prepared from whatever local was available. They prepared such a wonderful meal. One of the best meals that I've eaten on Kela Ka Patta was in the islands on the second. But of course, a lot of effort had gone in. They had gone to the locals and barter किया, कुछ पाइनएप्पल लेके आया, कुछ फ्रूट लेके आया बाहर से, सब कुछ करके वहाँ पे बहुत अच्छा खाना बनाया था सबके लिए. So food was never a problem over there later on.
Sir, you are a life coach, sir, and this host of this webinar, Mr. TBR, he is also a life coach, sir.
And not as great as he, we are only pygmies in his presence. Yeah, and so we really appreciate your courage, sir, and display of valor, leadership skills under those trying circumstances. I think have you been awarded with a kind of award, sir, from Kirti Chakra kind of thing?
इसकी बात बाद में करेंगे, अभी तो little later.
अच्छा, okay. So I
have got something, but
yeah, please, sir, please.
I have received something, but we will talk about it later.
Okay. So any other questions, sir, from our air warriors? So how did you manage, sir? What was it was totally unknown. You were suddenly, I think, you took up as a voluntary kind of thing. So I think you went there as a chief operating officer kind of thing. So how did you manage the whole flock of, I think, 70 people without any facilities?
No, it was a difficult task. No doubt, it was a difficult task. But that is how we are. We warlike situation में क्या होता है? We were in Sri Lanka also. It was similar. We were in, when you go and do rescue in a helicopter also. We're going to an unknown place, picking up from an unknown, landing at an unknown site.
Yeah, unknown.
Somebody rescuing him or her. So this is the kind of thing that we are kind of trained to do. But what was the best part was about that I had done my jungle and snow survival course as a youngster as a flying officer. So now all the things that we were taught in the course, they are
practically experienced
now in the tsunami. You have to be very careful. Like even now, if a fan is not working or if a light is not there, or if I don't get perturbed by these small things now. नहीं है तो ठीक है, आ जाएगा फिर वापस. गर्मी है, ठंडी है, तो वहाँ पे there was no fan, there was no light. For 6 months, we were sleeping with the sky, under the sky, constant threat of catching disease. So उस वाला situation में रह के you learn something about life that you should not get worried about. अभी जैसे a lot of children come to me. I am into selection of cadets for NDA. A lot of young boys, and I do interviews. They tell me that they are demotivated because of the coronavirus. I said, one door is closed, half door is closed, the other half door is open. You should be positive in your approach, and everything will work out fine. So don't get negative about things. So that is the way. Survival teaches us that have to be positive, and the will to survive is what takes us on.
Yeah, will to survive. Yes, sir. What were the most challenging situations there, sir, in your 1 year stay there? What were the most challenging?
Most challenging is to handle human beings only. I think बाकी सब तो हो जाता है. You can live without water. You can live without khana. You can live.
So managing people.
Managing people is the most difficult because the pressures are so much. Like for example, politician will say कि वो वाला island पे इतना 100 kilos दूध भेजो. So we will say कि yesterday only 17 people are staying on that island. Why should I have given them 100 liters of milk yesterday? Then 1 month wait. We'll put them later. So somebody else, Lieutenant Governor will say, "Isko udhar bhejo, uska udhar se wo la kya." So a lot of pressures from outside. When you know the situation where you are, you know the best what is to be done. So I have to hear everybody and do what I have. So I'll just give you one small example before we wind up. It's about standing up to your this thing. So there was this CNC who wanted to come and land at the base, and he was when the 100th day of fighter flying was going on. So he wanted to come there and land before the fighters to receive them. So at time slot, you land at 10:15, sir. Fighters landing at 10:30. So 15 minutes before you can come. We'll clear the runway, get it cleaned up. For the Su-30 require a lot of shusha to land. So he was delayed. So the fighters came before the CNC's aircraft. From the air, the CNC told me, CNC was from the army.
Okay.
So he told me that you stop the fighters. I will land first.
Okay.
So I said, no, sir. Fighters will take priority over you. You may be CNC or whatever, chief of staff also, but now fighters will take priority.
Okay.
So I had to go through a lot of problems later on.
For being bold.
So because I stuck to the rules. And then I told the chief of air staff was also there. I went and told him that, sir, I did everything by the book and I'm proud of being there. But if he wants me to court-martial me, no problem. I don't want to be court-martial for.
So what was your rank, sir, at that point of time? Group captain?
I was a wing commander.
So the second, what is the happiest moment, sir, in there?
Happiest moment is to every day was happy when we. But happiest moment I think was 100th day when.
You are celebrating with.
When people came from other squadron, fighter squadron, 6 squadron Pune flew in, then 28 squadron from Bareilly, I think it was Bareilly, 35 squadron. One of these flew in from with the aircraft. So they were outsiders coming to us for the first time. We were meeting our own friends from the regular Air Force after a long time. So we were very happy to show them around. So
it's a really proud moment for all of us. So finally, sir, what message would you like to give, sir? Of course, we know you are a motivational speaker. Out of your experience
I always end with this, what I said in the beginning, never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up. That is what we learned over there, and that is what we should follow in life.
So never give up, keep running towards your dream.
That is my only thing. So that is what I do now also, sir.
That's up to you, sir.
Thank you
for your
so
wonderful
much.
message. A fresh story, a new story, something different from what we have been listening to from all our war heroes. So thank you so much, sir, for sharing your challenging moments. And we all feel proud of your success. And finally, we owe everything to our great Mother Air Force.
Yes.
So salute to Air Force and salute to Air Commander Sathe, sir.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody.
So on behalf of our Air Veteran Association, we again thank you all, particularly Air Commander Sathe, sir,